In our last video, we discussed how to get prepared for starting your keto journey. In today's video, we're going to actually get started.
Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are
Two Crazy Ketos. And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
So in our last video in this series, we discussed 5 things you need to do that don't involve food to get started on your keto carnivore journey.
And I know you're probably wondering, all right, when are you gonna tell me what I'm supposed to eat and exactly how much I'm supposed to eat? Well, it's not gonna be in this video. Because we want you to be successful. And so that means getting truly prepared to get started.
I do want to say there's a little bit about food talk in today's video.
Oh yeah.
We're going to give you 4 things that you need to do before you actually put a bite in your mouth. And then we're going to tell you at the very end of this video how much food you need to eat.
Right.
I'm really excited about this, but before we get into the video, I want to mention today's sponsor. Today's sponsor actually relates to something from the last video, and that is electrolytes.
Yes.
So today's sponsor is Element. Element makes some delicious electrolytes.
Oh, every single day, I am absolutely in love with chocolate salt, chocolate caramel. They've got a chocolate mint flavor, and guaranteed, no matter what size cup you see in front of me in a video, there's probably one of those 3 flavors inside that cup of coffee.
In addition, they have things like citrus salt, orange salt, watermelon salt. They have an unflavored. They also have raspberry.
No unflavored.
Some of the interesting ones is they have a lemon habanero and a mango chili.
Which we have used to actually season things like chicken. We've put it on eggs before because we were like, man, this is a spicy electrolyte. How are we going to use this? And it actually flavors food really, really well.
What's really nice about Element is all you need to do is rip open the package. You can pour it into any bottled water or a cup or even one of our 2KK flasks. Each serving has 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium.
And it mixes like dust.
It's great because it's an awesome way for you to be able to get your electrolytes in, which we talked about in the last video. That is very important. And it doesn't have all the wonky ingredients that you find in things like Gatorade and Powerade. What's really nice about Element is because you have all these different flavors and they come in individual packets, you can keep them in your purse, your car, or even your pocket.
All of those things. If they're in my purse, they're in my car, they're not in my pocket because I have no pockets right now. But when I have a pocket or a fanny pack, they're in there.
Now, we have recently partnered with Element for sponsoring a few of our videos, and they have given us an incredible deal for you guys. When you use the link down below, you're going to, with your purchase, get a sample pack of 8 different flavors for you to try. So whatever size you purchase, whether you buy a 30, a 60, a 90, or even a 120 count package, you're going to get that nice little sample pack. So maybe you can try some flavors that you haven't considered, like lemon habanero. Now, once again, we do appreciate all of you guys for supporting the sponsors who support Two Crazy Ketos, and we appreciate Element for sponsoring today's video. So let's get into the list. And just like in our last video, we're going to count down from 5 to 1, with 1 being the most important. And I know y'all want to hear about food. Don't worry, we're going to be talking about that at the end of this video. We're going to start off with number 5, and number 5 is something that a lot of us dread. It's the Pantry Purge.
But this is a great time of year to do it. And again, when we say Pantry Purge, we actually don't even mean just the pantry. You need to get into all of the nooks and crannies where you store food, whether it is your pantry, your refrigerator,
the back drawer of your nightstand.
Exactly. All of the places where you have food right now, you need to purge it. And I'm going to say this is something that you're going to have to do probably 2 and maybe 3 rounds of, because your first round you're gonna be like, good enough. But then as you take a look at the ingredients on things in your cabinets, in your drawers, you're going to find how many carbs that they have in them actually, how much sugar are in those things. Things like ketchup and sauces that you don't expect to find sugar in, you're gonna notice, oh my goodness, this thing has sugar in it. So you're gonna have to purge all of those places. Now, we're thrifty people, Joe. We don't like wasting money, and sometimes it feels like a waste of money if you're going to purge all of that food. Is it still okay to purge the pantry?
Now, if you want to, if you really feel strongly about it, you can donate most of what you're going to purge. I'm going to give you one exception to that in a minute when we go over what you're going to purge. But if you want to donate it, that's fine. Personally, I would not donate a lot of this stuff to my own family members because I don't want my family members eating a lot of the sugar and treats that we may have stored in our pantry. So let's get into what are we going to purge. We're going to go into our refrigerator, our closet, the drawers, anywhere we may be hiding food, and we're going to get rid of, starting off with, anything with sugar, including the chocolate chips, baking items, packages of sugar, sugar sweeteners that we use for our coffee. We're going to get rid of all of the rice, the pasta, the beans, any of that kind of stuff, packages of flour, boxes of macaroni and cheese, packages of, microwave popcorn, hot chocolate mix. If it's not keto, toss it out.
Yeah, and I know that it's hard to think about throwing away money, making like the mistake of throwing out money. But the bad decision was made at the grocery store. That was the number one bad decision that I made. Before we started keto, I knew when I was putting Oreo cookies and even boxed macaroni and cheese on the belt at the grocery store, I knew that it wasn't something that was going to nourish me. And I made the mistake of purchasing it at the store. But that was only mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 came at home when I actually ate that food. So this time, we're gonna go ahead and just leave it at 1 mistake. We purchased the food. That was the 1 mistake. But let's not make it 2 mistakes.
Now, I know you're wondering, what is the one thing I absolutely cannot donate that I need to purge? That is seed oils.
Yeah.
Canola oil, the regular mayonnaise, like I'm not going to mention brands, but you know what I'm talking about. All those cheap mayonnaises, canola oil, anything like that, corn oil, seed oil, all of that stuff, that needs to hit the garbage. Don't give it to your friends, your family members, your loved ones. You don't want anybody, I don't care what their eating lifestyle is, nobody should be eating those seed oils. And what oils can you have? You can have avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil, or you can use things like tallow and lard,
butter,
bacon grease, lard, butter. Those are all going to be your healthy fats. But all those seed oils, toss them out. Don't give them to anyone. And for those of you who may be having in a situation where you have non-keto family members at home, we have a solution for you.
Yeah, you need to put the things that they eat that you don't eat out of your eye line. Manufacturers spend a lot of money to get their items on grocery store shelves at the proper eye line. Whether you are pushing the shopping cart or you are riding in the shopping cart, the kids have the perfect eye line for different products that they're gonna be crying for you to purchase. So you want to get things out of your eye line. So move things down to shelves that you can't see every single time you open up the cabinet. That's going to make it easier for you to stay on track. If you have to put into your mind that this is not just a family member, right now this is a coworker. If you could think of their things as coworkers' items, it actually may help you, because if you go to work and you share a refrigerator, if you see a coworker's lunch in the refrigerator, you are never going to reach for their food, right? That would be the rudest, most not acceptable thing for you to do. So think of these people living in your house as coworkers right now. Don't touch their food. Their food does not belong to you.
Now that we've done our pantry purge, it's time to move on to step number 4, because we need to replace everything we just threw out. Step number 4 is go shopping.
This is a fun one, but make sure you grab a sweater because like we talked about in the last video, for keto food, you're gonna wanna shop the outer aisle of the grocery store.
So what are we gonna be buying when we go shopping? We're gonna focus on two things. We're gonna get meat and, if you want, some leafy green vegetables, which also includes broccoli and cauliflower. So we're gonna stay away from everything on the inside other than maybe getting some healthy fats like coconut oil or olive oil or avocado oil, and maybe you wanna get some mustard or even possibly some like condiments like Primal Kitchen ketchup. But other than that, we wanna focus on the outer one. Make sure you're getting your eggs. That's one of the healthiest things you can eat. And then on our vegetable side, again, lettuce, you can have some spinach. Make sure you're getting organic on that one. Broccoli and cauliflower, celery, that kind of stuff. I would stick away from any of the root vegetables, even things like onions. Now, while we're in the grocery store, we need to talk about step number 3. And that is for the first 2 weeks or possibly longer, we want you to avoid as many keto products as possible, especially the treats. And I know you're thinking, hey, wait a second, you guys get sponsored by companies and do reviews on all kinds of keto products. Why do I need to avoid them? Well, there's a few reasons, and we're not telling you have to entirely avoid them for your whole keto journey, but right here at the beginning, it's really important if you want to be successful that you avoid them.
Yeah, and I know it's hard to walk into a space and see like Keto on a bag. You're like, isn't that me? I'm part of that now. But it's important for you to interact with actual whole ingredients. We want to do keto differently than maybe we approached other health journeys and weight loss programs in the past. In the past, you were supposed to grab a lot of snacky type food and basically snack your way 100 calorie a day to quote unquote better health. We want to do things differently this time. We're going to interact with actual whole ingredients. Trust us on this. You're going to be glad you did for a number of reasons. Number one, you're breaking the diet mentality by actually interacting with whole food and seeing real meals on your plate, not little tiny things that are encased in plastic.
Another reason you want to avoid the keto products at the beginning is they're just not the same.
They're not.
You're going to go into the grocery store and you're going to see keto cookies. You're going to be like, yes, it looks just like an Oreo. It doesn't taste like an Oreo.
No.
You're going to get disappointed. And then what's going to happen is you're going to end up going back to the original thing that you're trying to avoid to begin with.
Yeah, you're just going to be disappointed. I mean, we've used things like even Miracle Noodles comes to mind and palmiti noodles. And you're like, awesome, this is so cool. I'm just going to swap out my spaghetti for palmiti noodles. They're a great product. But when you're getting started, you notice immediately, this ain't nothing like what I used to eat. And we don't want you to get frustrated.
And as much as we do enjoy certain keto treats where we have vetted the ingredients and say this is a good product, keto treats and keto products can send you down a rabbit hole. And the bottom line is, because it's a sweet treat many times, we don't have a shutoff valve for it. And we end up over consuming the amount of energy and fuel that we need. A lot of these like keto treats like cookies and chocolate, they have a lot of fat because fat is flavor. And so what happens is we grab this thing and we don't have a shutoff valve. We're not just eating one, just like when you're eating Oreo cookies and stuff. And the next thing you know, at the end of the day, we've eaten 1,200 calories of fat just in cookies. You would not be able to eat that much if you were just eating a steak. So we need to really focus on our whole food and avoid the keto treats for the time being.
Okay, you are leaving the grocery store with big, delicious bags of meat and maybe some cruciferous vegetables. Now what? It's time for step number 2 once you're passing through the doorway of your house, and that is determine your macros.
Now, this is going to be a fun one because I know a lot of people are at home right now going, whoa, 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 determine my macros? Yes, we're going to determine your macros. The only thing is, this is the easiest thing on the whole list. Because here's your macros. Don't eat carbohydrates.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we want you to do for the next 2 weeks. How much food should you eat? As much as you want. How many times a day should you eat? As many as you want. How much fat should you eat? As much as you want. How much protein should you eat? As much as you want. How many carbohydrates should you eat?
As few as humanly possible.
That's right, as few as possible. We are not going to give you a number. We're not going to tell you keep your carbs under 30, keep your carbs under 20. We're not going to tell you to do total carbs under 10, which reminds me, we're counting total carbohydrates. Net carbs are made up by the companies that are selling those keto products, which you are currently trying to avoid. We need to avoid the term net carbohydrates.
Absolutely. Don't let somebody sell you a math equation that's like total carbs minus fiber, minus sugar alcohols, minus allulose, like all of that. It's too much. It's overwhelming, and it's continuing to expand in the keto universe to a headache level degree. So keep it simple. Total carbs, and you're starting out in a great place because you're using whole foods to begin your keto journey, so you can trust the carbs inside of these foods. So keep it at total carbs and keep those total carbs as low as possible.
That means that one day you may have a bunch of vegetables and have a total of 25 carbs. But the next day, you don't have any vegetables. You just have maybe some beef liver with some eggs, and you only eat 6 carbs. That's okay. The second you give yourself a number of, this is what I'm allowed, guess what? You end up eating that many. Now what happens when you move on, and you do occasionally later on indulge in a keto product, you start going, well, I've got 25 total carbs, so that means I can have this 3 times a day, or I can have one of these every day. If you go into this with, I need to keep my carbohydrates as low as possible, it's going to be much easier, because now all you got to do is go, you know what, today I had 20, tomorrow I have 10. So step number 2 is fairly simple. Just don't eat carbohydrates. I mean, you can eat as many times a day as you want. There's no eating window to worry about or anything like that. And you can eat as much as you want, so long as you have one stipulation in there, and that's actually step number 1.
When you do eat until you are full. In the past, we have been used to beginning a new eating regimen by trying to eat as little as possible. Maybe you were like us and you did rice cakes, or you did lean cuisine meals, or you only got what was in like a progressive soup can. That sort of white knuckling through the day. When you sit down to eat, you want to eat until you're actually full. You're not trying to top off throughout the day and have like so many meals because you just can't stand it going from one meal to the other because you're just so ravenously full. If you sit down for your meals, honor your meals, and authentically get full, then you're gonna be able to feel good and satiated all throughout your day.
So if you're only eating 2 or 3 meals a day, each one of your meals should be, if you want to look at calories, somewhere between 600 to 800 calories. Somewhere we got mixed up and we're convinced that 2 eggs and a slice of bacon, that's a full meal. No, that's a snack. And when we're on keto, we don't snack. Every time you sit down to eat, you eat until you're full. And then the next time you're hungry, you eat until you're full. And what you're going to find is you just tend to eat less because you're full. But these first couple weeks, I want you to eat as much as you want. I don't care if it's 5,000 calories a day. Eat as much as you want, so long as you're avoiding carbohydrates and you're eating and focusing on your meat. It's hard enough to give up the carbohydrates. It's hard enough to give up the sugar, the pasta, the grains, and all of that stuff. Let's just focus for the first 2 weeks on transitioning over to this and feeling really good.
And to go along with feeling good is our bonus tip for this video.
And the bonus tip actually relates back to today's sponsor. I know it was in the last video, but it's worth repeating. You need to have electrolytes. Every day, especially when you're getting started, make sure you're consuming some electrolytes. And like we said, one of the easiest ways is with today's sponsor, Element. Because with one of these, all you need to do is rip it open, pour it in your bottle of water, and enjoy a nice flavored beverage knowing that you're helping replenish the electrolytes.
Yeah, I mean, these are delicious and they're gonna help you not feel like sweaty garbage. And anything that is going to help me not feel like sweaty garbage as I am transitioning from a carbohydrate-fueled life to a fat-fueled life is something very, very precious to me.
So in the next video, we're gonna actually discuss these steps, but on a much deeper level. We're gonna get really into what should your macros be? How much fat should you eat? How much protein should you eat? And really focusing on a very important topic, and that is, do you need to count calories? So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Now, if you do like seeing videos like this, take a look at some of the videos. We have linked right over there. Also, make sure you take a look at the most recent videos I'm gonna put right over here.
But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon, and that way every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time, bye.